the pitch. Is Luke towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. There is pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Boston radio personality Lou Blasi.
Hey everyone, welcome from the 18th floor high above courtside of the beautiful Phoenix Towers in Singer Island, Florida. This is our second last show from Florida, Louis. Our second last show. Then we're coming home.
I know. I just get warmer thinking about Singer Island. Every time I hear Singer Island, I think warm.
Two Drunken Goats the night before. We had cocktails at Two Drunken Goats.
No, Matt, that's the name of a restaurant down here.
I thought that he was coming out.
No. Well, actually, we were right down the street. There's a really cool seaside bar. It's called Two Drunken Goats. Lou has been there. It's kind of cool. And anything goes in that bar. But it's a
right on the beach, open. It's just great.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Jimmy Buffett type.
Yeah, exactly.
Really kind of cool. Anyways. So we have a really cool show today. Again, we've been talking about this. Our viewers and our listeners, some of you have reached out to us. Some of you have no desire to even get involved with this.
Yeah, why isn't Rico doing a show?
Yeah, Rico's playing. I said to Lou, I said, look it. And I said to Rico too. I said, Rick, you're out. You're out of this show. You're out. He says, you know something? Thank you very much. So he's on the golf course right now. So yeah, he's playing golf. But we're doing two shows today, a little behind the curtain stuff. We're doing two shows today because next week's show, our equipment is not going to arrive back to Boston. So we're going to do two shows back to back. So Rico has to be here by 12:30. No, 12:45.
See how that works out.
Ain't going to happen. Guaranteed. Listen, before we start the show, and I want to welcome our guest, Dr. Bryan Poole, bottom left. Bryan is a collector, happens to be my rheumatologist, and he's a pretty good doctor. He really is. Bryan's a collector. Bryan, how long have you been collecting?
Since I was a kid, pretty much in the late '90s. But took a little break when I didn't have any money when I'm a teenager, and now that I have a job and income's there, I can collect more. So probably the last 4 years, I've been collecting more regularly.
I had something to do with kind of like getting the juices flowing, didn't I?
Yeah, I think you did with the sports collection stuff, and it kind of got me going into the Pokemon, back into collecting. Yeah, I agree.
All right, and then our other three guests from Pristine Auctions, our good friends. Are you guys all in Arizona right now?
We are.
Okay, we've got our good friend Jeremy Murray, who's been on the show a million times with us. Jeremy gets it. He's one of these guys we can call him up if someone cancels or someone's sick and jump right in and not miss a beat. We've got Matt. Is it Heufel or Hofel? Heffel. Matt, what is your function, your job description at Pristine?
Yeah, so I do lifecycle marketing, which is basically like being able to help our customers find the things that they're looking for on a daily basis. So making sure that everybody's seeing the headliners and the big things that we're trying to show our customers about.
And then, of course, Logan Konjevich. Logan's been on with us several times. Logan, why don't you tell our viewers what your job description is at Pristine?
Oh, I'm in the sorting team downstairs in the warehouse. So our job is to make sure that anything that comes into the warehouse, we make sure that A, gets to the right place it needs to go, B, has value. We don't want anybody getting the short end of the stick there. And then, of course, C, that it's authenticated, that it's real.
All right. So before we start, though, Lou and I have been talking. My good friend, Rick Tretzka, we call him of Phoenix Towers fame. Rick's a friend of ours, friend of the show. And he and I were talking. He's a collector, not a collector, but he watches the show. He's been a great fan since we got here down in January. So about 2 weeks ago, we were talking via on the phone, and I asked him. I says, Nick, so I mean, you're into sports, I can tell. I said, did you ever, I played high school sports. I played for Austin Prep. I played basketball. I played football for a Division IV school with 12 guys in it. So I asked him, I said, so, did you play, high school? So he said, oh, yeah, I played high school. And he said, I played a little college too. So I asked him, I said, you played college? He said, yeah, I played a little football in college. I said, you're kidding me. I said, figuring the guy played for a Division II team. I said, so who did you play for? He said, I was the starting quarterback for the Purdue Boilermakers for 3 years.
Good Lord.
Back in 1997. And he says, my only claim to fame is that I'm the guy that threw the 8-yard touchdown pass to upset number 2 Michigan in the game. So this is the we dug this out, and this is our friend Rick throwing the touchdown pass.
Looks like it was filmed in 1897.
Look, there's volume, right?
Okay.
Now that's the pass that he threw, and that's the pass that beat. I think they were number 2 in the country, and his team was not too good. They were like 3-7. So congratulations to Rick on a great job as an old washed-up quarterback. So that's good. All right, let's get into some Pokemon stuff. Now listen, again, you guys are dealing with people who know absolutely nothing about Pokemon. So who are we going to start with? Let's start with you, Logan. Can you give us a little history of this whole Pokemon phenomenon? How did it start? Where did it start? Just a little background.
Well, it started in Japan, first and foremost, with some cards popping up here and there. The card game wasn't a full-fledged thing around 94, late 94. Really started to kind of explode over there. They created a show. And then the game came along, the card game came along. All these things kind of happened at once. And then it kind of migrated over into the US in 95. And then it really exploded. And then it kind of died down for a little while there until about COVID. And around COVID era is when the whole card market, as we know, went crazy. But Pokemon really took off and kind of hasn't really settled since then.
So, Logan, there were cards before the game. I always assume the game kicked us off.
That's what I did. I thought that too.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that in Japan, the creator, he collected bugs as a kid, and he wanted kids to have that same feeling of collecting something. So he created these little cards. They didn't really have much on them other than just a plain back and then a character on the front. And so he wanted them to be able to collect something, and it kind of just slowly turned into a icon.
I mean, when I take a step back and look at the whole Pokemon card picture, I do. I honestly get confused. But Brian, I've talked to you a couple of times about it. You guys, it's like you guys understand the flow, how it works. How many characters are there in the cards?
Over 1,000 now.
Oh boy.
And they're releasing more this year too.
Yeah, we're getting a new generation.
All right, so there's over 1,000, because I'm going to equate this, and Jeremy, you're a vintage guy. I'm going to equate this to the T206 collection. So there are 1,000 cards in the collection, in the set, and are there always new cards that are coming out, being manufactured?
Yeah, like every 2 months.
So is it possible is there anybody in the world that owns every card?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Really?
Because it's exclusive cards. There's like promos that are only sold in certain countries. It's hard to get them all to collect every single card. Yeah, it'd be really hard.
Yeah, there's ones that you can only win or only get by like winning tournaments too, that are exclusive to tournaments. And there's one that in Japan they have like a lottery system that you can only get the cards through that lottery system. So there's too many to count. All
right, so Lewin, jump in here, pal. What determines what's the card? Picasso, whatever the hell his name is. What is it? Pikachu? Pikachu. So why is Pikachu the most valuable card?
Well, it only as the illustrator. The Pikachu as a character may not be the most valuable card. I would say that Charizard is probably the most valuable card.
I'm sorry?
Charizard.
Okay, Charizard. Okay.
So
So
I would look at Pikachu as the mascot for Pokemon. That's what I would look at Pikachu as. He's like your grandmother knows Pikachu. You know what I mean?
all right. So what's the other guy's name? Charizard. Charizard. So Jeremy, is Charizard the Honus Wagner of the series? Like what Honus Wagner is to the teeth? Wait a minute, you own one?
Sounds like
Well,
Brian.
this is a Mega Charizard, so it's a little different form of Charizard. It's one of the promos, recent promos. He's normally red. He's going right there.
There you go. Look
This is the base set. This is from 1999, so this is like one of the very earliest versions of that Pokemon.
All right, now Brian, will you get that authenticated or graded?
Yeah, this one I probably will grade. Yeah, it's pretty good condition. So this one I probably will grade. This
And
one
this was
just came out a new set and a promo set. Yes.
All right, so
is the value of the card based on the strength of the character, or is it more market forces, like we see in traditional collecting?
It's just favorites, basically.
Demand.
Charizard was one of the original, like, big bad type of cool looking Pokemon. So nostalgia plays a big factor. 100% actually, I would say nostalgia plays a factor. But yeah, Charizard, Pikachu, and then like Charizard was one of the 3 Pokemon you could start with.
Oh, you got another
in
one.
the original game. That's Gengar, I think.
Gengar is also very popular.
Gengar is another popular one.
Is that what that is? Is that what we're looking
Yeah,
at?
this is
Brian?
Gengar. This is on they had a set for Halloween, so it's stamped for a Halloween set. This set you can buy this for like $10, the Halloween set, and then honestly, if you grade this right now and it's a 10, it's worth $200.
Yep.
So it's like
Did you
the
get
value
the
has gone up.
2024 one or 2023 Halloween set?
This one might be the
3.
I'm not sure. It's either 24 or 23. I can't remember.
Okay, all right.
As far as you mentioned Honus Wagner of cards.
Yeah.
This would be this card right here, the Illustrator Pikachu.
Oh wow.
Which Golden, I think, just sold one from Logan Paul.
Oh, is that the one for like what was it, 16 million?
Yeah, something stupid amount of money. Yeah, that's the card, and just because there's so few of them made.
So the older cards are the older cards generally the more valuable?
Yes.
They are.
Also, the way to look at it is like when the Pokemon first came out, there was 150, 151 Pokemon. Those are still the most wanted Pokemon cards.
They are.
So even though they keep adding them every year, the classic 151 has all the nostalgia. So all the ones we just mentioned, the Gengar, the Pikachu, the Charizard, they're all in the original 157.
And those all came out way back, Brian.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yep.
And I think you got to think of it like this. Back in the 90s, grading didn't exist, and kids were just playing with these cards. So just like vintage cards in general, they weren't protected and immediately put into sleeves and pack and holders and things like that, like they were used. And that's why when you get one that is an older card that's graded higher, so the value just launches up.
All right, so the 2 or 3 cards that you guys have been talking about that are the most valuable. Why? I mean, are they very scarce, or are they plentiful in poor condition? Why are they so valuable? Number one, and are there many of them out there?
You know, pop reports don't work the same necessarily as with sports cards because there's not any like one-of-one kind of cards out there. Like even that Pikachu Illustrator, there are multiple copies of it. But finding that card, I think it's about the grading, number one. If it's a high value, I think the grading jumps significantly, as it does with every other card.
Sure.
But it's also about the character and what that person is looking for their personal collection. And it just so happens that a lot of people are collecting the same Pokemon. So
Yeah.
And sometimes the art. Sometimes as an artist that people really like their art on the cards, and those cards skyrocket right when they come out.
Like these are 2 other Charizards, different art styles and kind of different rarities, but high grades. So, but because it's Charizard, it's going to launch the price up.
So Logan, when did those come out?
These were 2021 and 2020.
2021 and 2020.
Well, yeah, right in the COVID pop.
So is there, again, Jeremy, maybe you can answer this question, or either one of you guys, is there a PSA set registry for Pokemon?
I would imagine there is.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
All right. So who is? You may not be able to answer this. Who's the? I can tell you who the who owns the highest graded 1952 top set. Who's the guy at the top of the hill with the highest graded or most valuable Pokemon set? Is there an individual?
Before a couple weeks ago, I probably
Besides Bryan Poole, by the way.
Oh yeah, not even close.
But it's definitely changed since then because he sold that car.
Yeah.
And who is this?
Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying not that one card. Take that one card and put it aside. I'm talking about.
No, he had a collection too, right, Matt?
Oh, he did have a
He
collection.
still does.
And
He
he
does.
still opens tons of packs. Tons.
He does.
Is there in Pokemon, is there a modern vintage divide like we have in traditional collecting? And has Pokemon gotten into design scarcity? Are they playing this game a little bit at this point with the modern side?
100%. 1,000%. As far as like your vintage to modern design, for English, it's more so than Japanese. English originally, when it was first brought to the US, was being printed by a company called Wizards of the Coast. And that's what you see all those, like these cards. These were printed by Wizards of the Coast. And I think it was like 2012?
I think so. I think 2012.
Sometime around 2012. Don't quote me on that. They lost their licensing because they weren't printing. Their printing quality was going downhill, and they weren't printing as much as Japan wanted them to print. So they lost their licensing. Japan took over the printing again, and they started printing their own English cards.
Nice. So the cards are still printed in Japan?
So no, English cards are printed in the U.S.
by a Japanese owned company. Okay,
Yes,
so
by the
they have these companies, like whoever the company is, has no connection with Fanatics or Topps or Panini or any of those people.
They have done a top
They
set
did do a
before.
top set in 2000 and 2001.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty well sought after set because it was such a weird little niche thing that happened.
And the art
Yeah.
looks so different than everything else that they've ever done. Those Topps cards look just completely different.
And those Topps cards weren't a game; they were purely collectible.
Right.
Now, I've never known. Do you guys go to the National?
I've been
Okay,
there.
so obviously they have a section, a break section. Is there a break section for Pokemon? I've never even noticed it there because we're busy too. So they have a Pokemon break section at the National.
I've never seen it either, Tom. I'm not sure if that's there. I think this year at the National, you'll see a lot more Pokemon there. So
Well, I can tell you right now, unequivocally. I don't know if you guys know this. Obviously, Joe Drellick and the National, the NSCC, they're our biggest sponsors. They're the biggest sponsor of this show. I was talking to Joe last week, and the whole second floor is going to be Pokemon. I think he said there's going to be 100 tables. 75 to 100 tables on the second floor.
Well, it's wild with the shows that there are shows now popping up that are breaking apart. The West Coast show it was originally Burbank show that Jay and Rob run over there. They did their own TCG show. They split it up and did a sports only show and then a TCG show that's in Ontario. So it doesn't surprise me at all at the National.
Well, let me tell you what's going on down here. Maybe a month ago, they had a big show. I go every year down in West Palm Beach, and my friend and I, Joe Marino, Louis, Staten Island Joe.
Yep.
He and I went to the show, and as vintage card collectors on baseball, we were very disappointed. But for Pokemon, it was a Pokemon heaven. There must have 75% of the tables there were Pokemon tables. 25% were vintage baseball or modern basketball. It was absolutely incredible, and I can't tell you the business that was going on. It was absolutely incredible. And the same thing happened at the National that we witnessed. 14, 15-year-old kids with briefcases, just bartering with each other, trading or buying or purchasing or whatever, man. It's a phenomenon. Bryan, how many cards in your collection right now?
Oh God, I don't even.
I mean, if
the
you had
ones I've actually recorded. Let me see here. I recorded like the ones I've either had like higher end and like or graded 2,800.
Oh boy,
are you serious?
Yeah, and then I mean I have a lot of bulk, we call it, just the really common cards that I don't have sleeved or anything like that, just to if I ever wanted to play the game, or sometimes I give it away to kids and stuff like that.
So
all right,
what?
Bryan, if you're going to the National and you're going to the second floor this year, what's the card you're hunting down?
Yeah, good question.
I think I pretty much have the cards I want right now. I'm not going to spend $10,000 on a card right now. I'm not at that place. But my favorite Pokemon's like Bulbasaur, so I'm always looking for a good Bulbasaur cards. So that's probably what I would hunt down. Right now, I pretty much have the ones I want. Yeah.
I think that's a good question for Matt and Logan too. What are they looking for?
I brought my personal collection just to show it off because I collect graded cards as well as just raw cards because I like to be able to bring, and this is called a top. I mean, you know what a top loader binder is, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course.
I keep all of my stuff in a top loader binder, so I just have like binder pages.
Are those all raw?
These are all raw. This is all raw, but they're in top loaders. But there's cards that I have like organized by the set. There's cards that I have organized by the artwork. The cards that I have organized by the Pokemon, by their evolutions, because Pokemon evolve into different Pokemon. And so I keep them all organized that way. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I like to collect a Pokemon named Eevee. And so I collect Eevee and all of the evolutions, they're called. And those are some of the most popular. They're like Umbreon and Glaceon and Vaporeon. So this is what an Eevee looks like. This is a bunch of Eevees on a single card.
All right, so now is that, how many Eevees are there?
Different evolutions are there, or how many Eevees are there? Yeah, so right now I believe there's 9. There's 9. And so they're basically whatever element. So one's a fire version, one's an ice version, one's a ice version, one's a lightning version. And so the reason I like to collect those is, number one, it was one of my favorite Pokemons growing up, obviously. And then number two, because there's so many different variations, there's a ton of cool cards and cool different artwork that you can collect for that one specific Pokemon. So there's people that will try to quote unquote master set, which is collecting every single card in either a certain Pokemon or a certain set that is of that. So people try to master set Eevee and evolutions. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Did you get involved through the game, or did you get involved through collecting?
I was a 90s kid, so all of it.
Bryan,
Pokemon Red.
I mean, so Bryan, you were into the game too and all that?
I think for me, the game and the anime was the first, because they came out around the same time, and I was hooked right away. And then the cards fast right after I was into that. We were trading on the bus. We were trading on the bus, trading at recess. People trading first edition Charizards like they were nothing and didn't realize they were going to be worth $500,000 down the road. You know.
We were
Jeremy and Lou, how do we miss this?
We were watching Ricky Henderson all the time.
Is that what we were doing?
Yeah, for me, it skipped right over me, completely passed me over.
Yeah, I mean, I was collecting.
There was a gap for me because I was too old to get involved in it. My kids didn't come along early enough to get me involved in it.
That's what I was about to say. I think that I'm a bit too old for it, but it's awesome that my son is into it now. He's a 10-year-old kid, and I took him to the Arizona card show the other day, and he's running around the show looking at all the tables. So I like him being involved. Sure. I can't help him with that. What's awesome about it too, and you see it a little bit in the sports now, but the interaction with the Pokemon dealers with kids is pretty awesome. And they will have free giveaways at the table. My son went up and the dealer addressed my son directly, said, "Hey, who's your favorite character?" And they're talking this language that I don't understand. And he says, "Hey, look at this. Look through that binder right there and pick some cards that you want." And my son looked at me and he said, "Really?" And it's just really cool to get people involved at all different levels. And they're there and their parents are looking and they're searching for their own collectibles and they're trading.
Is the dynamic the same with the trading? I mean, like at a show, Is there negotiation between the customer and the dealer, just like it is in the regular card market?
Yeah, I think so. I watched dealers talking to each other, and it seemed if you just left a blank, whatever card they're looking for, it could be a Mantle card or it could be a Pikachu card. It's the same type.
Crazy. Fascinating.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. The Pokemon boys are in the house. When we come back, we're going to come back with another crackerjack moment. But then I want to talk about the investment part of Pokemon. Should it be part of your investment portfolio? We're going to talk about that. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
We are back, and our guests, Jeremy Murray, Matt Heffel, and Logan Konjevich from Pristine Auctions, and Dr. Bryan Poole, super collector from New Hampshire, in the house. Before we get back to some Pokemon talk, it is time now for another crackerjack moment, brought to us each week by our good friend Paul Borges and the staff at PB Collectibles. Go to pbcollectibles.com for that special vintage card at an amazing price. We've got 2 books left. For those of you that I know that many of you know, we got a nice phone call several months ago from our book distributor that happened to find cases of books in the back of the warehouse, and they're all gone except for 2. So you get a discount. Lou will tell you about it. This week's Crackerjack moment is Vin Campbell. The career of Vin Campbell is a bit of a head scratcher. Here's a guy that only had a short-lived career, even though he put up very good numbers on the field. The son of a prominent St. Louis family, Campbell was a graduate of Vanderbilt University. He came up to the majors for a brief stint with the Cubs in 1908. Awkward and green, Campbell blew his one at bat and ended up in the minors, where he had a very good 1909 season playing outfield for Aberdeen of the Northwestern League. Pittsburgh manager Fred Clark saw potential in Campbell with his ability to hit over 300 and his speed both on the base paths and in the field. When he came up to the Pirates for the 1910 season, Campbell batted .326, which was a good indicator of his offensive skills, given the fact that he had 282 at-bats that season. In 1911, coming off the bench, he batted .312 as a part-time player. The following year, the Braves acquired Campbell for his bat, trading him for an aging turkey, Mike Donlin, for him. Campbell proceeded to bat .296, led the league in at-bats with 624 and banged out 184 hits. Not bad for a 24-year-old kid beginning his career. He also, by the way, led the team in runs scored and doubles. Unfortunately, the Braves finished in last place that year, and believe it or not, Campbell was released. As a free agent, he signed with the Indianapolis Hoosiers of the newly formed Federal League in 1914 and had another great season batting .318, leading the team to the pennant. The Hoosiers relocated to New Jersey and became the Newark Peppers, and in 1915, Campbell batted .310 for yet another very good year. After the Federal League folded that year, Campbell sued for his wages and won his suit, but never got the opportunity to play in the majors again. And that's another Crackerjack moment.
If you want to get one of the few remaining copies of this book, go to tomzappalamedia.com/Crackerjack Collection to order your copy of the Crackerjack Collection, Baseball's Prize Players. This great book will give you a glimpse into the personal and professional lives of the players in this iconic collection. That's the Crackerjack Collection, on sale now at 30% off the regular retail price. tomzappalamedia.com and /Crackerjack Collection.
You know, many of you know, and I was talking to Jeremy about it before the show aired. Ellen and I, we got commissioned, and we are writing our final book. It's been a lot of work, but I think this is going to be a really cool book. Everyone in the hobby is really on board. PSA and the National are really behind the project. All the auction houses, private collectors. It's going to be a cool book. The name of the book is Legendary Finds and Sports Collecting Treasures. It's about all of the, you read about all these great finds in the newspaper or on the news about, the guy that goes into his attic and finds, $1 million card. So these are all the backstories on the finds. We've interviewed a lot of people, talked to a lot of people, and I think it's going to be fun.
Any Pokemon finds, Tom? Any Pokemon finds?
No Pokemon. No Pokemon, I'm afraid.
Tell me a story, Logan, about a Pokemon find. If someone found someone under their kid's bed, or
maybe we'll use it.
I mean, I hear stories constantly. Sadly for me, no, but I hear stories constantly of people finding old vintage base set, first edition cards, and then they grade them. They happen to be in a binder and perfectly. And it's just it's so cool to hear. I wish it would happen to me.
Why not me? I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I gave away my entire collection because I was like, oh, I'm over this. I'm too cool for this. But my dad held on to a single Pikachu card, put it into the safe in our house. And then a couple years ago when it exploded, he pulled out. He was like, is this card worth anything? Unfortunately, he picked the wrong Pikachu card. And so it was sitting in a safe for 25 years for $20.
Bryan, your collection of the 2,800 cards that you own currently, what percentage of them are the old Bryan Poole cards from when you were a kid?
I would say probably for my kid collection, probably like 100 to 200 of them. Yeah.
Are they
And
trash?
a couple of them are worth over $500. I got them graded and they actually had decent grades. Yeah.
Are they trashed?
No.
No, they're all in good shape.
Yeah. Well,
what,
maybe like I put them in binders. I had sleeved in binders when I was a kid. I was one of those weirdos, you know?
So what percentage of your cards are graded right now?
I would say probably about 40%, 30 or 40% are graded. Yeah.
Are you guys happy with the PSA grading standards on
I don't know. I've noticed a dip in the past year, definitely.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that now.
I knew I was going to open up a can of worms here.
I asked Logan because he just expressed himself with his facial expressions.
2 years ago, it was good, and then the past year, it's kind of dipped down with the consistency.
So is it the consistency, or are they getting more difficult grading? Are the the standards more difficult? Or are they just
I would say both.
Yeah. Jeremy, what are your thoughts?
It's an interesting one because I think it kind of goes in ebb and flows on how the grading consistency works and who's grading your things, your cards. It's also challenging when the prices are going up for grading. It takes longer turnaround time, so you need the hits to come a little bit faster and a little bit higher grade, and that's a challenge for some. I was just looking up the recent information on gem rate to see how the TCG side of the business is going. I mean, all of the companies seem to be grading more TCG. Actually, last week PSA was down 1%, CGC up 14%, Beckett up 39%, Tag up 32%, and SGC up 33%. So overall, like, people are saying it. PSA is the only one that dipped last week. So yeah, I mean, I think again, with where there's money to be made, you got to really get in that grading field just to make sure you're getting an authentic card and making sure the condition's right, especially as you're selling on the secondary market. So just like sports cards, grading is still going to be a big player in this market.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out to the four of you. So let's say PSA right now they're running 6 or 7 months out to grade cards. Beckett's running 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is. Is it still worth? I mean, PSA, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know on the vintage card side of it and on the modern card sports side of it, no matter which way you look at it, a PSA graded card is more valuable than a Beckett graded card, same grade. So is it worth you waiting the 7 months, or do people just want to get the cards graded?
Let me jump in here first. And with my history with Beckett, 23 years there, and building up the grading industry, it still has the most sought after grade in the industry, that Black Label 10.
Right.
And with the TCG cards and especially Pokemon and especially the new stuff, how well it's produced, that's what you're shooting for. You're shooting for the BGS Pristine Black Label. What's interesting is CGC also has a Black Label, and they're gaining a lot of steam in the market in that industry. What's great about CGC is their price point is lower than PSA and Beckett right now, and their turnaround time's pretty good. And so as they start having faster turnaround time and the pricing to get graded, they're working on that secondary market value. And if they can get some secondary market value steam, they're going to take some of that market share there just because people want their stuff back.
Interesting. Very interesting point. Yeah, interesting point.
Logan and Matt, is the decline in pricing similar with grading than it is to baseball cards? In other words, is a 9 a similar loss in value in price, or an 8, or is it much more?
Very much so.
Yeah.
So obviously it always depends too on the production of certain cards. So that's the thing too. I was lucky enough. I just sent in some cards to PSA recently. I got them back. One of the cards I got back was a 10. There's a Pikachu that got a 10. It had a 2.4% gem rate. So I can't really complain about PSA because they hooked it up, but not really. But like, I'm happy that it got a 10. However, that being said, it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to chase that PSA 10 and get that high price point, yes. With that being said, certain sets that Pokemon has produced, certain cards have bad print quality, certain sets have good print quality, and which then also further widens that gap between the PSA 10 versus PSA 9. Like, for example, that Pikachu has 2.4% gem rate, so the 10's worth $1,000 roughly, but the 9's worth 80. So it's like
right.
Large.
It's pretty similar then. Brian, are all your graded cards PSA graded, or do you have some Beckett?
No, I have some mostly PSA, but I have a lot of CGC and also Tag too.
I love that.
Man, Tag is one of the coolest ones on the market for Pokemon right now.
Tell me about Tag, because a few people have mentioned it. Brian, you mentioned it once before. How does Tag? How does that work?
I don't know I know it's an AI grading company, so it had fast turnaround, a little cheaper price. I did it. The last time I did a Tag grade was probably over 6 months ago, though. So I don't know how.
Do you find it accurate? I mean, if you look at the card and what the grade is, are you happy?
The cards I sent in, I thought it was a fair grade of my cards, so I was happy with what I got back as my results. I mean, maybe it was one or two surprise. I sent probably in 200 cards or plus to them. And maybe like one or two, I was like kind of shocked, but the rest of them seemed like when I pre-graded them myself, I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. So I was actually happy with the quality.
That's what about something, Jeremy? That seems like something that AI could handle, grading of cards.
Yeah, it's something where Tag popped up in the industry. It was an Atlantic City show pre-pandemic, so that would have been 19, I think, was that show. And it's the first time I met with the guys at Tag, and the case is beautiful, and their idea behind it is awesome. And I thought that it would be. I mean, if you use AI to go in there and pick apart a card, like, you're going to find every imperfection there is, and it's going to be wrong. And they didn't do that. Like, they did it really, really well, and they continue to tweak it and adjust. And it just seems like recently, in the past year and a half or so, they're really starting to gain more market steam. And I really think it is the slickness of that case, the ability to scan that QR code and get the details that you want. Like, it's the cool, hip, young, trendy thing to do. Old man Jeremy didn't catch on to it early because it was the more traditional grading. But man, you go to a show and you see their setup, and it is cool and it is trendy, and it's perfect for the TCG market for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, what I will say about Tag, one of the benefits, I don't know if they're still doing this for free, but it was when I sent them in. They give you the whole breakdown of your score.
Yep.
And they also say I have a 10, they graded a 10. They'll actually compare my 10 to every other 10 graded. So they'll rank my 10 the number one out of the 200.
Oh, really?
And so then you might be able to leverage that when you're reselling your card. Like, look it up. Mine's the number one card ever graded by Tag. You know?
That's cool.
That's very interesting. Let's talk about the investment part of Pokemon collecting. I've always been a big advocate because of the way the market has evolved over the years. My collection is part of my portfolio, my investment portfolio. That's just the way it is. And quite honestly, I've gotten if I looked at the last 15 years, I've gotten a much higher return on my investment than, with my investments, my IRAs, my 401ks, all of that stuff, a higher return. Does the same hold true for the whole Pokemon phenomena? Is it I guess my question to you guys, since you're big collectors, is it part of your investment portfolio, or is it just a hobby? Brian, you first.
Mine's definitely part of my portfolio because you got to look at it. You got to remember one thing. Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the world. It is, if you look it up on Wikipedia, Disney is half as successful as Pokemon is.
Wow.
So everything, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, they're all way below Pokemon in the world. So, and it's been like that since the 90s, and it's only growing. So I think people are very comfortable to invest money in something that has success and continues to succeed. and there's no sight of it dropping. I mean, eventually, I'm sure it's going to dip like the market will, but that long-term hold, I don't think it's going anywhere. So I'm holding. I'm not selling. I'm not flipping my cards. I'm buying and holding and hoping that when my kids are older, eventually I can, when they want to buy a house or something, I can say, hey, go look at my Pokemon cards. See what they've appreciated and flip them at this point.
Logan and Matt.
Yeah, I think it's definitely part of my portfolio. More of a long-term strategy for me.
Interesting.
I'm a mixture of both. There is definitely part of my collection that is, a part of the portfolio that is in a box, in a closet, that is safe and hidden in a way. But then there is part of it that is just a fun hobby for me. Like I showed you with my binder, I will create binder pages that all the cards will work together into like one art piece. So there's a set that just came out that is just the starters from the games. And when you buy the set, you get 3 cards. And when you put them together into a single thing, it's one single art piece. So that is not as much of an investment to me as it is like collecting art and then putting on your wall. For example, I have multiple of the slab displays that you can get in my house where I pop in slabs into it as a display item, as an art piece within my home. So it's both a mixture of a investment and just a fun hobby and a thing that I enjoy to do.
Logan, same with you?
I am probably, this might lose me some credit with the community that we're talking to. I'm not as much of a collector as I used to be.
Okay.
If anything, if I do buy a card, it's mainly for investment. If I buy a card or a box nowadays, because what I have noticed with Pokemon, and just me personally, I don't get the same joy out of holding something as I do of opening it. So opening it's fun, as I'm sure we can all agree with opening packs. It's always fun. What I have noticed is with Pokemon specifically, when a set first comes out, the price skyrockets, and then it drops off a cliff, I'd say like probably about a year in, and then it waits around kind of dormant for about 3 to 5 years, and then you'll just see it start to just significantly just go up.
So that's interesting because obviously, Jeremy, you know this, Lou, you know this. In the vintage card market, I mean, you can have, I don't know, pick a card, pick a 1941 Joe DiMaggio play ball, PSA 4 worth X amount of dollars. It's hot at this particular time. Then all of a sudden, it just kind of becomes stagnant and it actually decreases in value. Then it goes back up and then even higher. It's the price fluctuations on the vintage sports card and modern sports card market seem to be a little different then, because what you guys are saying is that's really not the case. The market doesn't determine the value.
A little bit, it does a little bit, but it seems like because there's no player tied to it, other than like a character, but there's no like real life person tied to it that influences anything. There's no stats. There's none of that. So it's all based off a popularity contest, basically. Gotcha. So when a set first comes out, of course, everybody wants the new shiny thing. Then it kind of, everyone goes, oh, that's old news. It drops. And then as time goes on, it becomes rare all of a sudden. So now it's like, wait, I want it again. A good example of that is there was a set called Celebrations, which is the 25th anniversary set. Which, side note, the 30th anniversary set comes out this October. So if you wanted to invest in something, anniversary sets are always solid. But in that set, there was a Mew. It wasn't anything special. It was a plain looking Mew, which is a character. You could buy a PSA 10 about 3 years ago for $40. Now that same 10 sells for $450. So it's if I would, of course, hindsight's 2020, I would have bought a boatload of them.
All right, so you guys jumped my question a little bit, and I want to start with Matt and Logan. I'm a baseball card collector who wants to put some of my collecting money into investing in Pokemon. What's the strategy? Is it buying a set or waiting for that dip in the set after it comes out?
The most, I would say, tried and true, like the most safe way of investing is probably sealed product.
Yep.
Yeah. So like this is an ETB. This is like what you see at Target, Walmart. You see these on the shelves all the time.
Oh, okay. So that's how many cards are in that box?
This is a 9-pack set and each pack has 12 cards in it. So 12 times 9 would be 116.
That sounds
118. 118.
Somewhere, yeah.
I can do math.
We don't do show math here.
But as far as like, these are a little more costly. These are a UPC or ultra premium collection. These will always hold value, sealed.
Now, what's the cost of something like that?
These, I think, retail around 200.
And these are around 50.
Yeah.
Now, Brian, do you buy like that?
Usually what I try to do is when a new set comes out, I'll try and buy multiple of items in each set. And then I'll probably take about half of it and open and rip, because I like ripping it and collecting
I was going to
too.
say that. That's going to be fun for you, right?
And then if I let's say I get the card I really wanted, I got the hit I wanted in the set, then everything after that, I'll just keep sealed, because they're absolutely correct. The sealed product will go up no matter what.
Interesting. We are chatting with the Pokemon boys. Lou, before we take a break, and by the way, this is very important, insurance. If you have a significant collection and you're not insured, you're nuts. That's all we're saying, you're nuts. And speaking of insurance, Louis, what do we have?
Well, you need insurance. The Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting into Tom Jr., the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting and with a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management. Tom covers every aspect of your collectibles insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend John Tobby of JT Sports has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We have another short segment. The Pokemon guys are in the house, so sit tight, hang in, and there'll be more Pokemon talk. Hang in, and we'll be right back.
Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Are you a collector looking for that rare trading card or autographed ball or photo? If so, then PB Collectibles in Newport is the place for you. PB Collectibles has graded cards, raw cards, complete sets, and wax boxes of the stars of the future, today, and from the past. We also offer a large selection of both vintage and modern cards. So whether you're looking to add to your collection or sell it, visit us at PB Collectibles, 269 Spring Street in Newport, located across from St. Mary's Church. We are your neighborhood card shop and much more.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Okay, we are back. You know, Lou, not for nothing, but, you know, I told Rico, you got to do something with the Petroselli marketing pens because they suck. Now, look at this. This is a Memory Lane pen. All right. Look at the quality of this pen. Right.
Yep.
And this is a Petroselli marketing pen. All right. This thing literally ran out of ink after 2 weeks. It's like absolutely horrendous. So I told Rick, I said, Rick, man, you got to do something. You got to upgrade. And I hope he listens to me because, I mean, they're like pathetic. Anyway, the Northeast Sports Card Expo returns.
That could have been off air. That's all I'm saying.
I really tease him. I do tease him about his, I tease him about his pens all the time.
Yeah.
The Northeast Sports Cards Expo returns to the Boston area on Saturday, March 28th and Sunday, March 29th at the Marriott Boston Quincy in Quincy, Mass. for a huge weekend of collectors. With 26,000 square feet of expo space and 180 plus vendor tables, the show is loaded with sports cards, sports memorabilia, non-sports card, Pokemon, Brian, toys, Funkos, and more. Plus, on-site authentication by JSA. Whether you're buying, selling, or trading, everything you're looking for is under one roof, and tickets are now available. All autographed guests at the Northeast Sports Card Expo in Quincy will offer one free autograph with paid admission. Some of the autographed guests include Tim Sweeney, former Boston Bruin, Ronnie Lepet, former New England Patriot, Russ Hochstein, former New England Patriot, Manny Del Carmen, World Series champ from the Red Sox, Jimmy Lonborg, Red Sox Cy Young Award winner, Taylor Lair, former Philadelphia Flyers player, and Gigi Marvin, U.S. Olympic gold medalist and former PWHL player. Who else? From The Sopranos, John Fiore, who played Gigi, and Frank Santarelli, who played Georgie. And lastly, Jim Bowman, a former New England sports player. There are also raffle tickets, free commemorative show posters for the first 20 to 200 attendees each day. Sports mascot appearances, including Slide, Pat Patriot, and Pikachu. Pikachu will be there. Kids under 12 get in free. Don't forget and don't miss the Northeast Sports Card Expo. Get your tickets today by going to www.northeastcardexpo.com. Hey, I want to ask you guys a question. You guys made a comment, I think it was you, Logan, about when a Pokemon card first comes out, 2 weeks later, it's going to definitely jump in price. I mean, is that pretty much across the board? I mean, what's the prevent? I mean, why not just, buy cards that come out right away, spend a few bucks, and then flip them 2 weeks later? Are you going to make a few bucks?
Yeah, people do that too. They're known in our community as scalpers. If you ever see a vending machine for Pokemon in like a Fry's or Kroger store or whatever, they're usually sold out because there's some dude who just showed up there and just camped out and just bought everything he could, and he's gonna just sell it off.
And they're all 13 years old, aren't they?
No, these guys.
They're 35-year-olds.
Yeah, they're 35. They're selling
100%.
to the 13.
So what do? They buy the box, the whole box, just hold on to it, and then flip it.
They buy these from the vending machines.
They buy them all.
Yeah, or they buy them on Target and they buy a pallet, a literal pallet.
I'm glad you brought this up because the guy I work with at Sportsbook has a Pokemon vending machine, and I'm wondering if this is a thing. How does this work?
It's a thing. They're in airports. They're in grocery stores. They're all over.
Yeah, they're in Shaw's all over the place. Yeah, I can't get the problem is I can't get MSRP product anymore. It's
I just read an article.
You can't get them.
I just read an article just this week that Target is expanding their footprint in the store for cards. I think primarily Pokemon. So I don't know by how many feet, but they're really big time expanding. So Brian, do you go to Target and just buy boxes if you can?
I used to go to Target all the time, but they'd be on the shelves all the time, and now I don't even waste my time. They're not in Targets, they're not in Walmarts, they're not in Best Buys anymore. You can only get it the day it comes out, and there's lines out the door. And then you're basically online trying to get you get notifications from X or Discord that tell you when a drop happened online, and then you're fighting bots. It's impossible.
Brian, can't you just pay off a Target employee or something to put a box of side?
Yeah, but I'm not that scummy.
Wow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
So honestly, the only place my local card shop, I can get it's still marked up, but it's not as high as the market price. So that's the best way.
Now, where do you purchase locally in New Hampshire or in Massachusetts?
In New Hampshire.
I mean, so you're a regular there, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you call him up, Brian, and say, "Hey, Frank, boom! As soon as they dump them, call me. I'll take them all."
No, because I'm not going to take them all. I don't want to be the scalper.
Okay.
I just did this 2 days ago. There's a new set that just came out. I was describing earlier, where it has the 3 starter cards, And I went to my card shop, and I was not expecting them to have them because everybody's looking for that box right now because it's the very first set that has the 30th anniversary Pikachu sticker on it. And they had 3 boxes, and there was kids in there. And so I bought one, and I left the other 2 for the kids because, as much as I want all 3, I don't want to take it from other people.
Well, if you bought them all, the kids would have jumped you anyway. So,
hey, Matt, where's the shop? Where's the shop?
So I would say my card shop's nice. They put limits on the products. So every time a new set comes out, they'll say you can only get 1 ETB, you can get 1 booster box. And so I basically just get the max of the limit, and then I walk out of there happy.
Even Target and Walmart and stuff started doing that. And then there was a time period where Target had to stop selling Pokemon because people were literally fighting in stores.
Yep.
And then they slowly were bringing it back. But yeah, it got crazy. And it's always the 35-year-old, 40-year-old dudes who are trying to scalp. It's never just the collector. And
all right, so we got a few minutes left. There's been a big problem on the sports side of it with thefts, big time theft problems, breaking and entering into card shops. Is the same thing happening on the Pokemon side?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
If there's money to be made, people will do whatever there is to do it.
I saw a news story recently where at a specific TCG shop, there was a break-in and they stole like $1.5 million worth of cards.
Whoa.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, listen, we have about a couple of minutes left. Educate me, clear my head on the game part of it, because I have no idea what the hell the game is. Are the cards used in the game, or are they? I'm sorry?
It depends on because there's 2 games. If you say just game, there's the video game and then there's the card game. The video game is a whole separate thing. But as far as the card game goes, I'll let Matt handle that.
So each player or each Pokemon has what is called HP, which is their health. And then they have attacks, and those attacks cost energy. So there's energy cards, and you have to accumulate a certain amount of energy cards on that Pokemon to be able to use these abilities. And these abilities do damage to the other player's Pokemon, right? So if you can get enough energy on this Mewtwo, and you can use this psychic thing, then you do damage to another Pokemon, and the first person to run out of cards wins.
Gotcha. Okay, Brian, did you play that as a kid?
I tried the online one. It's not my thing. The card game. I played all the video games. All the video games are more my thing. Yeah,
right,
I'm more collecting the cards.
Let me ask you guys about this. Is Pokemon Go still a thing, and how big is it? Because when Pokemon Go came out,
wait a minute, Pokemon what?
Pokemon Go.
The hell is that?
I got sucked in with that.
It's a mobile game on your phone.
Sucked in with
you catch Pokemon in the real world, and you walk around and exercise. It's still a huge thing. Yeah, they have events all the time.
It's just a brilliant piece of work. It's just brilliant marketing. I just loved it.
I mean, a new Pokemon video game just came out like 2 weeks ago on the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 just came out in June. This Pokemon came out, and it's like the #1 selling game on the Switch 2.
That's all my wife is doing right now. I can't get her to stop playing the game. That's all she's doing.
and it's not even the mainline Pokemon game. It's a spin-off.
When you go on your bike, Tom, you can have Pokemon Go on there and find Pokemon and just collect.
Yeah, it's free.
Like you guys are killing me. You're killing me here.
And then you could learn, and then we could have something to talk about.
You got to jump in on this, Tom.
I know. I think I'm going to give up the whole vintage thing, Jeremy. I mean, you led me down the path. I'm going to give it up.
Train all that vintage in. Let's get some Pokemon.
This was happening about the time NFTs started to land a little bit, and I thought this was all brilliant. This was the most brilliant way to do it. It's someone was a genius because this is great.
I mean, but it's funny. The questions, you go to the National, Jeremy and guys, or you go to a card show, or we get emails, and the hardcore vintage collectors, it's like a totally foreign language to them. It's foreign. I mean, they have no clue what's this. How does it? Rico is hysterical. Rico calls it Pokemon. So yeah, he's really funny.
Pokemania. You should call it Pokemania.
We're gonna get on the Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, this has been a lot of fun, guys. To our viewers and listeners, I hope you guys learned something. I did learn a little bit. I learned a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what I learned. I learned that I am going to camp out at Target tonight. You can call me a scalper. You can call me whatever the hell you want. I'm pitching a tent.
Clean your brass knuckles.
We may be onto something, Lewis.
I'll invest. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, all kidding aside, it's been a pleasure. Love you guys. I'm so glad you came on, Brian. I know you have a crazy schedule, and you were able to carve out an hour with us, Jeremy. Both you guys, Logan and Matt. I can't thank you guys enough. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again, maybe later on in the summer. Love to have you guys on. We have to educate the masses. The vintage masses need to be educated. So
for the national, let's send people to the national knowing something.
Yeah, Brian, it's, you really, I know that you have a busy schedule, but sometime in your life, it's really worth it for you to take a ride to the National Sports Collectors Convention. This year, we're going to be in Chicago. It's in Chicago this year, next year, and the year after in Detroit. But it's definitely it's an experience. It's an experience to go to. With that being said, Jeremy, Matt, Logan, Brian, I can't thank you guys enough. Louis, as always, great job. And Lou, you're going to hang around because we're doing another show right after.
Oh yeah,
right. With that being said, thank you guys all. But we're going to hit 1 million viewers. We're going to hit 1 million viewers. So we're really excited about it. And with that being said, I can't thank you guys enough because without you, we wouldn't be here. Louis would be. Lou, where would you be?
I don't know. I'd be under a bridge somewhere. I'd be scalping Pokemon cards.
There you go.
With that being said, we love you guys and happy collecting.
Thank you.